You ready? Okay, so we'll start with just the basic operation of the touch panel. When it sits resting, it's off, and there's a button right here on the top right-hand corner. When you tap that button, it turns on the panel. And then you get into your basic navigation pane, which is comfort is going to be things like air conditioning, pool controls, stuff like that. Lighting is going to be lighting controls. Security is going to be obviously security, cameras, things like that. And then on top is your list of rooms that you want to operate from. Now, these touch panels are set to default to whatever room we tell them to be in. In this particular case, this panel defaults to the kitchen, or it is set to pool right now because that's what we were working with last. So the first thing we'll do is I will get us to the kitchen. You do this just by scrolling. It's kind of like working on an iPhone. Just scroll until you find kitchen. And now, it says kitchen up here. This is the room that we're operating on, and you'll notice that you have some extra options up here, like lighting control and listen for audio, things like that. Lighting control, we'll just go through all of these real quick. Lighting control is very simple. You bring it in here. You have kitchen lights. If you touch kitchen lights, it just changes state. So we just went from off to on and then on to off. Boom. If you want to control individual lights, you can go under the cabinet. Those will turn on or off. Or you can grab the slider and set them to whatever you want. At this point, we've just set it to 33%. This is a dimming feature on here. So push this guy back up to 100%. The pantry, if we wanted to walk around the corner to the pantry, just touch that, lights come on. This is for your clients. This is completely customizable and reprogrammable and everything. I've just put this in here as a demo to show what it can do, a very, very limited example of what it can do. Obviously, the other thing we do with this system is we turn the lights on at night with the Control4 system. It's all automated based on an astronomical time clock, which is set to sunset and sunrise. So that's the lighting control feature. The way to navigate out of whatever you're in, there's a little arrow right here, and that brings you back. In fact, here, let's go back here. This arrow takes you back to the original page right here. Now, if we wanted to listen to music, boom, you hit listen, and here's a list of everything you have access to. You have access to a couple of different AirPlay units. Now, when somebody has an Apple iPhone, they have a feature on it called AirPlay, which allows them to connect to other Apple devices like an Apple TV or other things like that, where you can throw movies and music and cast whatever you want from your phone onto the other devices. This functions like a software version of an Apple TV. So if you attach your iPhone to it, at that point, your phone is now a source on the system, and whatever you play, if you want to play Spotify, if you want to play some other streaming service that isn't available through here, it'll come out through the speakers. For this demonstration, I'm just going to use Pandora because it's easy and it's right here. The other units on here, just so you know, that TuneIn is basically every radio station in the world, and you can dial in by continent, country, state, city, whatever. If you want to listen to sports radio in Orlando, Florida, you can tap it in through here. But we're going to use, for the audio demonstration, we're just going to use Pandora. Pandora is a good streaming service. At the moment, kitchen is the only thing that's active. It's on right now. And you have volume control down here. You can just tap it, or you can press and hold it. So I'll turn this back down so we don't overwhelm ourselves here. If you want to mute it, that little speaker is the mute. See how you get the little red circle with the line through it? So we're on mute now. And then we've unmuted it. It comes back up. This is basically just a Pandora app, just like you'd have on your phone. So the navigation through Pandora is just like it is on the phone, no difference. If you want to go to search, I mean, here's all the potential searches that are in here, or you can go and do a normal search. Typically what's going to happen, though, is this guy here is going to attach itself to a specific Pandora account, which in this case is actually mine. And my Pandora account has been mutilated by people coming through here and setting things up. Yeah. But I left it in there because it was just easy for demonstration purposes. And what it'll do is it will show you all of the playlists that you have in Pandora. So in this particular case, if you have the 2010s music, if you have alternative or barbecue or blues, there's Hawaiian music in here now. Everybody's sort of gone through here and found all of these things and created all of these lists in here. If you want to add rooms to whatever it is you're playing, this little house on the bottom right-hand corner, we'll say, hey, this is the status of the system right now. We're listening to this. We're in the kitchen. Here's the volume for the kitchen. Get out of here. Here's the volume for the kitchen. These little circle the guys right here if you want to turn the room off or if you want to turn everything off. If you want to add rooms to what you're playing right now, you hit the add room. It'll give you it's hard to do from the side. Come on. It'll give you a list of all the stuff that's on. It has a check mark next to everything that's attached right now. Right now it's just the kitchen. But if we wanted to come down here and say attach the rack hall and attach, you know, bedroom 2. We have, there's a great room west, which are the speakers up top up there. And then you hit OK, and you can hear they've come on now. And you can see where all their volume controls are set. So great room up here is at 40%, the kitchen's at 33%. By the way, this 40% is a default turn on. It'll always turn on to 40%,
Okay.
which is this level right here. It's enough to know that it's on, but it's not gonna blow you out of the room, and you're not gonna accidentally leave the thing on super loud when you turn it on.
Okay.
So it's always gonna do that. If you want to adjust the volume in any particular room, it's just like anything else. Volume controls right here. If you want to mute that particular room, hit that, it'll mute the system, it mutes that room. If you want to turn that particular room off, just hit the power button, and it'll say, do you want to turn this thing off? You say yes. And that lets you turn off one room out of all the rooms that you have selected. If you want to turn them all off, you go over here to all zones. If I can get to it, and then it'll just automatically flip all the audio off. It's done, and then we can return back to here.
I have a question. So right now, it's on your account, Pandora. If so, when a homeowner takes over and says, "Okay, I want to change it to my account," what's the process of adding?
We go through the Control4 software, and we just change the account information there.
Okay, so you would actually do it through the Control4
Yes.
options.
Yes,
So it's
'cause-
basically a hookup.
Yeah, and you know, when your client buys the house, they're probably going to want to change the way the lights work. They're going to want to. Can somebody turn that off?
It's in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just-
Gave it away.
So, I forgot where I was now.
So that was Pandora. So what if you want to use a different music feature? Let's say you want to throw a CD in the player. You'll go over the rack with us later, but let's say you want to do it on
when you go to
here.
listen, these are what you have available right now. So this is the DVD player. You would just pick that, and then it'll just tell you what's going on. There is also this thing called My Music. What this does, and there's nothing loaded in it right now, but this is essentially a library that is stored on the Control4 processor. So if somebody has a bunch of stored music, they hand it to us on a disk or on a thumb drive or something like that, we can attach it to this system, and then all of their music populates on here, and it's just like any other streaming music service at that point. You can search it by category, by artist, by song, by whatever, by genre. It doesn't matter. This we haven't populated yet, but it is there, and all they have to do is hand us a file with all their music on it. Really simple.
Okay.
TuneIn, I'll just do a quick demo on TuneIn. So here's TuneIn. You can listen to local radio stations, pick your genre, whatever you want. You can manage your favorites on here. There's no favorites yet because we haven't done anything yet. If you want to search news stations, you go here. You have all of these different channels here that you can search on, or you can go over here to search itself, and if you know what you like, try to see WH.
So these are radio channels that are available through the web.
Right, so like a radio station I used to listen to in Anchorage all the time was KWHL. There's KWHL. And now we can start listening to it as soon as the stream begins. The only thing to remember about this is the sound quality is directly related to the quality of their upload. Some of these will sound good, some of these will sound downright terrible. Most of them sound okay.
Yeah.
But in this one right here, we can see we're now listening to an Anchorage radio station. So very cool the way that operates.
And I missed, where do you decide what room you want to
This drop-down menu here.
for music?
Yep. For anything, when you start controlling the system, when you begin to control the system, this particular touch panel is going to default to the kitchen every time because we've told it that's where it lives. But if you want to pick a different room, get up here. If you pick a different room, you just have to scroll until you find whichever room that you want.
And then you have to turn the music on in there.
And that's where you'll start. Well, this is where you're talking about where you want to start from or how you add.
How I add a room.
Okay, this is why I don't want to do this. This is what the video is for, because we're going to go back and forth on this until it's going to be very confusing on the video. But if you wanted to add rooms to this, Let me get out of here. You go over here to this bottom right-hand corner, hit Add Rooms, and then pick the rooms that you want to add to the setup. So we're going to go ahead and back out of this. We're going to go over here and actually turn this off. Turn all zones off. So that was the listen side of it. We did the lighting side of it. The settings are not something that really need to be messed with by the client. They just happen to be on there. Comfort is really cool because you get a list of all the thermostats in the house and you can see exactly what they're doing. Essentially what this particular view is telling you that they're all off, and that it'll tell you that they're all registering, you know, whatever thermostat they happen to be registering at. So if you pick this guy right here, it'll tell you that it is off, that the current temperature is 76, that the thermostat is set to 73. If we were to turn it on, we would go to cool, and you're going to see this guy kick on here in just a second.
Which room was this that you just said?
This is the kitchen. Or no, I did the
Great room?
great room, yeah. So, and it's also telling you down here too that you need to change the filter in your air conditioner. It's reporting all that information back to you. So when you need to change filters or if there's any maintenance issues that pop up, it'll give you a little reminder at the bottom. We can actually change.
Does it turn off?
I'm going to change it here. I'm going to
Right
knock it
picture
way
your
down.
hand.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're down to 67 set. This is displaying, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. This is displaying the current temperature. This is displaying the set temperature. And now you can see that I've set it below 73 degrees. The cool is now on. It's now on and active. And you will hear, it should be coming out of that one up there. So we're going to go ahead and turn this back up to 76 because it just doesn't need to be on right now. But we'll reset that. And then you'll watch this guy will kick off. Boom, it's off. So this is talking directly to the brains, the actual condenser units that are out in the back of the house, and then those units are directly tied to their thermostats, and with that data bus that we're riding on top of, we get to talk to all the thermostats in the house. Really neat.
Okay. But I didn't hear it turn on.
It clicked on. It takes a little bit for it to come on,
Yeah.
and then it takes a little bit before it turns off. But we didn't really let it run long enough to do anything special, but I did hear it click on.
Okay.
So there is a schedule on here. You can, if there is a schedule that's been programmed into the thermostat, it will tell you what the schedule is on here. And then there are some extra features on here, like you can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, or however you want to do this. This is probably something most people won't get involved with. 99% of the time, you're just going to be over here on the temperature. So we'll go out of here. There is one other feature on here that all of these touch panels have, and I'm going to get out of this here. So I'll get back to the main page. Well, while we're on comfort, the other features on here, you can get a weather report. There's the weather for today. You can get to the pool controls from basically anywhere that says comfort. You'll have access to the pool controls. So I'll just put that back. That's all under comfort right there. This particular button up here, I'm going to go through this, is the intercom. So we can actually make a video phone call to any touch panel device or any camera enabled device in the system. So we can call the front door, we can call the front gate, we can call the other touch panel, do whatever we want. In this particular case, the easiest thing to do is to call the front door. And if somebody could go over there and just answer that touch panel.
The touch panel on the...
Next to the entry there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello?
And boom. Now we're going to have a lot of... Well, you got to turn your volume down. See that on the left-hand side, you have volume control? Okay.
So, of course, we're really close proximity, but
Yeah.
if someone was in the bedroom or, one of the masters or something like that,
Yeah,
it
or-
wouldn't have all that static, right?
Yeah, or you can call the front door as well. Or not the front door, but you can call the gate. Obviously, they can't see you, but you can see them. Actually, this just automatically pops up. There's the front gate. Somebody's got their scooter going.
Yeah, it's the weed whacker.
Yeah. So and then to end the call. And then also for this guy right here, if the gate happens to close, there's an open gate button. If you press that, it'll fire the lock for the gate. So
I'd
somebody
like to
can
test that
press it.
too,
Yep.
before we leave.
Sure. Get out of that. The other, so that because that's a one-way setup, nobody else can really see what's going on. That's going to automatically pop up every time. If you add more touch panels to the system as you go, they do have to be answered. It's not something where you can just drop in on somebody when they're in the shower. It doesn't work like that. They actually have to hit the button and answer the call. So the front door is a little different because we've told it it's the front door and it's a security feature. And if we want to see what's at the front door, we're going to see what's at the front door. I'm going to switch gears here. We're going to go to one other setup. We're going to go to the master or to the great room, and we've now added one more feature on here, which is watch. And this is here because we have a television in the room. So if I go to watch, it's going to ask me what I want to watch. I'm going to say cable, and that will turn on the TV, and it turns on the home theater receiver. It turns on the cable box. Actually, the cable box stays on. It turns on all the stuff that we need in order to be able to watch TV. And there we go. We have television. And from here, we have all the normal controls that we would have on any cable remote. We have the guide, which brings up the TV guide. We have page up, page down. We also have up, down, left, right.
What do those do? Oh,
It just
times.
navigate you around through the channels. Page up and page down takes you 5-6 channels at a time, right? So if I hit page up, it takes you one whole page at a time, so you don't have to keep going, tap, tap, tap to get where you're going. So you see all that, and then if we want to watch Alaska Mega Machines, we go there, and then you hit select, just like any cable box control. And you guys don't get Science Channel, so it's not going to work. What do you guys? Do you guys get Smithsonian?
Get 107.
ESPN, I know we got.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is a good example too. If you know what channel you want, you go over here to this button. This is 10 key. Get you these guys. 1, 2, 2, 2 is ESPN. And there you go, ESPN.
So 10 key is where?
Right here. And then this tab over here is back to
Oh, right
controls.
there.
Yep, so you have controls and 10 key. And of course you have, just like the other one, volume control up and down. You have your play and pause commands, which I don't know if you guys have DVRs here or not. You guys don't have DVR, so that's irrelevant.
Don't think so.
Yep.
No.
So you have channel up and down, all that stuff. And when you're done, you have power button, just like everywhere else. And it'll ask you if you want to turn it off. You hit yes, and it turns everything off for you.
Okay.
And that is basically it. The pool controls are under comfort. We'll go over this real quick. Hit pool controller. And over here you have pool control, spa control, and then extras. The pool control is really simple. It's just setting the speed of the pump, deciding if you want the heater turned on or off, and what set point you want the pool to go to. So the same thing with the spa. You have an opportunity to set that, the heater, the pump, all that stuff. Now in this particular instance, you have to turn the pump on, and you have to give it this little do to get it switched over. There your pump is on, and we can turn our heater on so that we can go to, boom, heaters. We can get it to check. And it probably won't because we're still attached to the pool. So we will go to, this actually tells you right now that the pumps have now changed over to spa mode. So we can't really change that there.
We're looking for pool mode though, right?
We're on spa right now.
Oh, okay.
So go over there, you tap the checkbox. We've now turned the heater on, and it'll take a second to update because we are going through the web page. And then over here is how you set the heat. Once the heater's turned on, you can change the set point to whatever you want. And this indicator right here tells you that yes, the heater is on, and yes, it's currently firing. That's what that red flash is.
Okay, let's leave it on
Okay.
so I can check it and see if it's still fired.
And just as a side note, this is the web page for that device. We're on the spa. It gives you a basic update on what is happening in the pool on the spa. This is, if we go to heater, it should tell us that it's heating the spa right now. So here we're doing it. It is heating. The temperature is set to 104, and the heaters are on. So this just reflects the web page. This is the actual thing that the Control4 system talks to. This is a web page that both the pool controller puts information to and takes information from, and the Control4 system puts information to it and removes and takes information from it. So that's essentially how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just confirming that, yep, it's on. We've actually turned it on. So, and the pool controls will also tell you that there's no heater on the pool because we're using it for the spa. All that fun stuff. Not particularly relevant because most people aren't going to see that, but it just gives you an example as far as what's going on when you press the buttons over here.
Mm-hmm. And we can also turn on the pool heater independently as well, right?
It used to work like that. Stop recording because we're going to get confusing here. Or pause it if you can. So it used to, and we go to security. And let's do this real quick. Cameras. I can put my finger on it. There's cameras. And it'll show you the cameras that we have out here, right? You scroll up and down through all your cameras. If we had more, it would just keep scrolling. But if you want to see an individual camera, tap on it, and it'll give you the full-size image. And as you can see, the motion and everything, it's a live image coming at you right now. You can see the trees and blowing and all that stuff. To get out, you press the little X over here. That brings you back to all the cameras. And then again, the arrow takes you back to this menu. And then that gets you back to here. But we want to set the alarm. So we're going to set the alarm. We're going to go to the Elk Security Pad. And this is really easy. We say press to arm. And we want to go armed away. And we want to enter the code, which you probably don't want to record right now.
So on this keypad, you need to arm it with the code, whereas the others you don't.
Right. On the standard keypad, you're just going to hit exit and it just does it.
Yeah.
So this is counting down for you right now and telling you have 48 seconds or whatever to get out of the house. So we'll wait for it to set up, and then we'll come back in and we'll disarm the system. So we would need to leave in order to do that. Or we'd have to stay on well, no, we have to leave because the motion sensor will go off.
Do I have to leave too?
Yep.
Just come on. Just keep it running. Okay, it was about 20 seconds left, I think.
Yeah, so we'll do that and we'll give it about a minute to set up so that it's like, okay, we're locked down, everything's secure, all the motion sensors are settled, everything's fine. And then probably actually, no, they got the lawnmower, probably not, but normally you would stand here and you would hear a final beep come through the system. And, so you have a little chime and then it gives you a little break and then it comes back with one long beep and then it's secure. You can't see in.
Should be good now.
Should be okay. So let's go in. Okay. And then there's a 2-minute countdown on this. So you have 2 minutes to enter the code. And the way we do it is you hit,
Do I want to see this?
well, you want to see how this works. So you hit the button here in the middle. It's going to ask you for the code. And then we enter the code. And that turns it off. And the code is that you enter the code and then hit done on that keypad. And that is what disables the alarm.
All right.
And that's it. And then when you're
Are
done,
there any other features that we should be aware of on security, or is that?
you have locks, which is you can turn the doorbell on or off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much it. You also have on your front door, because this touch panel is always set to entry, but if we set this to the front gate, which is up there, and you go into that security, and over here, you can unlock and lock the gate.
So I do want to test the gate.
Okay.
See how that works out. So Should I call from the intercom there?
So you would call from the intercom,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll answer it, I'll talk to you, and I'll hit the button to let you
Yeah,
know.
I'll close the gate too.
So we're pausing.
Yeah, if you want to stop that recording. All right, go ahead and have him punch that in.
There he is.
So there he is, he pops up. We can answer it. Hello, Tim.
Yeah, hi John.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
How are you doing? I'm doing fine.
Okay, I'm gonna open the gate for you. Here we go.
Okay.
Should be open.
There it goes.
Should be open.
That's locked and locked.
It's locked and locked.
Yeah, okay. Try it now. Try it now.
No, it's not, I'm matching it.
It doesn't move. You just, when I tell you it's okay, you just open it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it again.
So if you have a lot of pressure on that lock, if that door isn't sitting at neutral, like if you don't have the pin dropped on the second door, the functionality is going to be a little weird, because if you have pressure on that pin, then it can't lift when the magnet hits. So you need to drop the pin on that second door so that it's fixed in place.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you need to set the pin on that second door.
Okay, so go ahead.
Is that pin set on the second door?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you set the pin on the second door so it's anchored?
There is no anchor, so I'm trying to hold it with my foot.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna hit the button.
Alright.
Okay, go.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, that worked.
It's locked.
That's it.
So we're stopping.